everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It's our last day here in Budapest, and it's going to be a little bit of a short one because I've got a bunch of things I got to do this afternoon and this evening before I head out tomorrow. So today we've come up to the city park, which is Budapest's largest park within the city. It's about 500 acres, but more importantly, it's home to several different and interesting places, including the one that's right behind me here, which is the Agricultural Museum. In 1896, Hungary was celebrating 1,000 years of its existence, and for that 1,000-year celebration, they set up exhibits and monuments all over the city, and this happens to be one of them. Originally, it was actually made out of cardboard, if you can believe that, but it was so popular they decided that instead of it being just a temporary thing, they were going to make it a permanent thing, and so they tore down the cardboard structure and rebuilt it exactly the same out of brick and stone, and that's the building that's here today. Not entirely sure how I feel about this place yet. On the one hand, I've been told that the interior of it is absolutely stunning, which really excites me. But on the other side of the coin, I've been told there is a lot of trophies and taxidermy in there, which doesn't necessarily excite me nearly as much. So, but we're going to go in and check it out and see, and then we're going to head out through the park to a couple of other places that are just around the corner. Let's go. Well, that was the Agricultural Museum. Pretty interesting in there. It was pretty nice. Unfortunately, one of the areas was shut down for a private event, so didn't get to go and see that. But nevertheless, still pretty interesting place. Pretty reasonably priced too, compared to a lot of exhibits here in Budapest. So yeah, go check it out if you're ever up at City Park. It's worth a look. We're now literally gonna walk less than 5 minutes to our next place, and so I will see you now. Well, I've made it to our next place, which is Hero Square, pretty much right at the entrance of the city park. Hero Square was also built in 1896 as part of that 1,000-year celebration. What makes this place kind of unique is the Millennium Column statue that's right behind me. If right at its base, it has 7 statues, which represents the 7 tribal chiefs that came together and basically created Hungary as a country. And the other thing that makes this place really cool is right over there, which is our next stop. So let's check out Hero Square, and then we're going to head straight over the street there to the Museum of Fine Arts and Antiquities. Well, that was the Museum of Fine Art and Antiquities. Yeah, pretty actually interesting in there. They actually had a Renoir exhibit, which is really cool. But now we're heading off in this insane amount of wind that's in the city today. I don't know where all this wind's coming from. We're gonna head over to our final stop of the day, which is the Budapest Zoo. Now, Budapest Zoo is actually one of the oldest in Europe. It started in like the early 1200s. It was initially set up by some patriots of the country who wanted the city to have a zoo. But unfortunately, it inevitably ended up going bankrupt. It went to auction. The city of Budapest actually bought it. They put a ton of money into it and renovated and restored it. And it's been under control of the Budapest city ever since. Sees hundreds of thousands of people every year. And weird fact is actually Queen Elizabeth from England once actually donated a giraffe to the zoo, which is kind of bizarre. But for me, I have mixed feelings about zoos. On the one hand, I really don't like animals in captivity. But on the other hand, I do understand that they're good for educational purposes. There are a lot of young kids and people that don't get to travel and will never get to see animals in their natural habitat. So yeah, I kind of get it. Okay, well, that was the Budapest Zoo. I'm going to do something that I actually don't think I've ever done, and that is recommend that you don't visit the zoo. In fact, I was a little bit upset that I gave them my money, to be honest with you. It is a nice place to go for like a little bit of a walk in like a park-like setting, but if you want to do that, just go for a walk in the park. The first thing that gets me is that half the exhibits don't have anything in them. The second thing that got me is the overall condition of the buildings and the facilities as a whole. It's in pretty rough shape when you really take a look around. And the one that really tops it all off for me and makes me kind of upset is the conditions that some of these animals are in. The enclosures that they have are just not, in my humble opinion, up to standard. Yeah, I was very disappointed with what I saw in there, and definitely wouldn't recommend any of you to go visit it. Yeah, kind of a down at the last place we go to on my trip here in Budapest ends this way, but you know what? It doesn't take away from all the other places that I've been and visited and thoroughly enjoyed here in Budapest. Definitely still recommend that you come here and check this city out. It is really cool. Yeah, that's going to be it for today's video, and that's going to be it for our stay here in Budapest. I hope you enjoyed these videos. If you did, you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time when we travel off to a new city.